World Health Organization have set out an initiative called Quality Rights, and so they've been looking around the world for examples of good practice. And in approaching the Ministry of Health in New Zealand, they had suggested that they explore tupuaki, which is a peer-led acute alternative that Pathways has been delivering since about 2008. Upon learning more about tupuaki, they chose to invite a member of Pathways, myself, over to Korea as a part of a global network of best practice initiatives in a human rights space and mental health. We probably have a whole lot of structural, we have great services in place that do respond to the needs of people and using mental health and addiction services in a rights-based way. However, some of the structure of how we deliver mental health services are probably not as rights-based as they could be. There were a couple of things that really struck me, and as much as there was experts from around the world, and in particular from developed countries, I think it's fair to say that we shouldn't assume that we can't learn things from other countries as well, or actually in fact where other countries have a whole lot more resource limitations, a whole lot of innovation thrives, and it thrives through necessity. Within Zimbabwe, where they have one psychiatrist per 500,000 head of population, they have limited means, so they have to find some other way of connecting and caring for people. And so they created a thing called the friendship bench, and they use a concept called task sharing, and I heard this a lot, task sharing, and essentially it meant because we don't have the resources to fulfill these tasks, we have to share those responsibilities and those functions. And so in Zimbabwe, on the friendship bench, they have grandmothers who are trained, and grandmothers have particularly special status within their culture. And these grandmothers are trained in brief intervention therapies, just small scale, brief talking therapies, and they would place these benches and friendship benches in public places and have the grandmother sit on them, and anyone at any time who felt they needed to could sit down and talk to a grandmother. We don't only need to hold to these professionals having these skills and abilities, and actually there's a wealth of resources. People loved it, and what's there not to love? It's an amazing service and an amazing environment, and intentionally I showed them what a hospital environment looks like, and in particular what a seclusion room looks like. So when you show images of that and then show them images of an environment that's empowering and respectful and nurturing to them, unanimously people said, I'd want to go there, and fortunately for us we've got research that backs that up as well, so they were very impressed with it. So this will be no surprise to the people who know my recent personal addiction. I went to a bonsai museum just about an hour and a half out of Seoul, and there were about 4.5 acres worth of the most amazing trees that even the worst tree there was better than the best tree I could dream of having in New Zealand. So I was in my little excited place for a good half a day outside of Seoul.